I'm a former Disney World cast member, and today I'm exposing the top things Disney cast members actually hate. The last time I made a video about Disney cast members' secrets, y'all ate it up. So today I am back for another round of exposing juicy cast members' secrets. Hey, I'm not judging. Before I was a cast member, I loved watching these kinds of videos. So I get it. Now today's secrets again come from my cast member friends, some of my coworkers here at AllEars who also were former cast members, but this time I also reached out to you. So let's get into it. You might think working at the most magical place on earth is all sunshine and Mickey-shaped ice cream bars, but today we're pulling back the curtain. Cast members love their jobs, but there are a few things that drive them absolutely nuts. More than a few things, actually. Number one on this list, Disney World guests. Cast members are trained to be friendly, helpful, and make the magic happen, but sometimes guests treat them like their personal servants instead of hardworking employees. Most Disney World guests are respectful, but some forget basic courtesy. Like when people try to cut the line and say, "Oh, my family's up there." No, rules still apply, Karen. One of the biggest headaches? Guests who think the rules don't apply to them. Like parents trying to convince cast members to let their too short kid ride Space Mountain. Sorry folks, these rules exist for a reason. So I worked at Volcano Bay. Fun fact about Fry, I was a slide operator at any theme park. Parents try to get their kids onto rides that they are too short for. Guys, those are rules for their safety. You don't want your kid going on a ride that they don't fit in the restraints for. A water park, it was very easy to tell them no because they can't go put on shoes to make their kid taller. Rules are put in place for a reason. And speaking of rules, cast members have seen it all when it comes to stroller parking. If a stroller is blocking an entrance, chances are a cast member had to move it to keep traffic flowing. They're not trying to lose your stroller, just making sure nobody trips over it. The amount of times that I've tripped over a stroller or an ECV ran into me when I was standing still. Add ECVs to the list. And please, snapping your fingers, yelling, or treating cast members like they don't matter, like they're not real people, that is never the Disney way. If you want the best experience, the golden rule still applies. Treat others with kindness, and you might get extra magic in return. Now for this specific cast member video, I also reached out to you all on my Instagram because I know a lot of you that follow me and follow AllEars are former cast members or current cast members, so I really wanted to hear from you. So I've got some of your opinions sprinkled throughout this video. Somebody said, when annual pass holders don't want to show their ID at the parking tolls and throw a fit when asked for it. Ooh, that's a good one. So yes, Disney annual pass holders do get free parking at Disney World, but you have to show your annual pass and your ID when you pull up to the parking toll, the parking plaza. They don't always ask for it. Sometimes they just scan your band and then they let you go. Annual pass holders, you should know this. You should know the rules that if you're asked, you have to show your ID to prove that you are that annual pass holder. So I don't know why you're getting mad. Literally this entire video it's just about cast members doing their job and people getting angry. Just listen to the cast members. Ooh, another one that I would not have thought of, pin trading without talking to the cast member. So there are a lot of pin boards around Disney World and there's always gonna be a cast member stationed, or maybe it's at a store and there are cast members around. If there is a cast member standing at a pin board and you go up to pin trade, just talk to the cast member. Just be friendly. I mean, I can't imagine why you wouldn't. Hey, how's your day going? Can I pin trade? They're gonna say yes, that's why it's there. I'm sure most guests have been mean to that cast member today, so just be nice. Give the cast member a little magic. The hours and pay. Disney World runs all day, meaning cast members often start their shifts before dawn or leave well after midnight. Some work overnight to prep the parks before guests even arrive. Psst. Okay, it's time for a secret. I don't think this is a crazy secret, but most people don't know this. So how do you think performers are able to rehearse without guests seeing them? Sometimes the Halloween party, the Sanderson sisters need to practice on the actual stage before the Halloween party. So how do you think that they get to practice on that stage without guests seeing them? They have to do it overnight when the park is closed. Most entertainment cast members have to practice multiple times overnight. Park shifts can be long, stretching anywhere from 8 to 12 hours, sometimes more during peak seasons. And working weekends and holidays? Yep, that's just part of the job. You might be celebrating Christmas or New Year's Eve at home, but cast members are running the magic for everyone else. Now let's talk pay. Many frontline cast members, especially in entry-level roles, start at hourly wages that don't always match the cost of living near Disney. That's why a lot of cast members take on multiple jobs or share housing with other cast members to afford life in Orlando. It's all about passion for the magic, but it's not always financially easy. And speaking of costs, some cast members commute long distances because rent near Disney parks is so expensive. So after a full day of working, some still have to drive an hour or more just to get home. Despite the long hours, holiday shifts, and modest pay, cast members stick around because they love the magic. But make no mistake, it's not always easy behind the scenes. We talked about it in the last video. We're going to talk about it in this one again. Expecting magical moments or expecting special treatment. Cast members love making magic. It's why most of them are cast members. But some guests expect a personal fairy godmother granting wishes left and right. Excuse me, we are not the fairy godmother. We can only do so much. And it's when guests get entitled that make us think, ooh, you're not getting any extra magic today. Yes, sometimes cast members sprinkle pixie dust, like handing out free stickers or celebrating a special occasion with buttons or etc. But that doesn't mean every guest gets a surprise just because they asked for it. And I'm sorry, saying it's my birthday won't guarantee you a free cupcake or a free button or parade-worthy treatment. Cast members do their best, of course, but expecting magic on command can sometimes take the fun out of the real spontaneous moments. When a guest has had a really maybe not so good day, they're trying to get on all these rides and they keep missing them, or they miss their favorite character meet and greet time, whatever have you, cast members will go out of their way to turn that day around and turn it into a good day. So it's when guests start to expect the magic, that's when you're not gonna get it. Let me say this now, everyone paid to be in that park today. Okay, you are not special, everybody paid to get in. Cast members want to make magic for you. They want to make sure you're having a wonderful time, but once people start to get entitled, that's when the magic stops. Basic common courtesy, basic manners, and we're gonna treat them like the human beings that they are. They don't get paid enough for you to yell at them. I know. Whew. Okay. Oh, and one other thing. One other thing on this expecting magical moments. This one, I know people are gonna be surprised by this one, but one of my roommates on my DCP was PhotoPass, and this was her #1 complaint as a PhotoPass CM. PhotoPass on Main Street. She would not come home until 3 a.m. most nights. If you go up to a PhotoPass person, they're gonna help you out. They're gonna tell you what poses to do, yada, yada, yada. Sometimes they will tell you to do something funny, like hold your hand out like this, and you don't know why, but then when you get the photo in your My Disney Experience app, you know, Tinkerbell might be in your hand or some other Disney character. Those are called magic shots. Magic shots is when they add a little bit of magic to your photo. I'm gonna tell you right now, it bothers PhotoPass cast members when you ask for a magic shot. That might sound crazy to you. You might have only gone to Disney World a couple times, so you wouldn't even know to ask for a magic shot. Annual pass holders, the pros, the ones who go all the time, if you ask for a magic shot, that is like asking for a magical moment. It's gonna annoy the cast member. They only wanna do it as a surprise. They only wanna do it to sprinkle some extra magic through your day. So they're gonna be taking your picture and they're gonna have in their mind, okay, I'm gonna do this magic shot. I'm gonna get them to do this one. And then you ask for it, they're gonna go, fine, hold out your hand. You know, okay, like, I'm sure they'll be nicer than that, but it will annoy them if you ask for a magic shot. The next thing that cast members hate is when guests ruin the magic. Disney is all about immersion, but sometimes guests break the illusion in ways that cast members wish they wouldn't. Oof. This is gonna be another big one. Have you ever heard like a grown man say something when you're in line to meet Mickey Mouse? I'm not gonna say it right now, but he says something about Mickey Mouse because he's an adult and he understands, but he says that in earshot of the wide-eyed child meeting Mickey for the first time. The child knows 100% that is Mickey Mouse and they're about to meet Mickey Mouse. And then the adult 2 parties behind them says something too loud that ruins the magic for the child. Not okay. Cast members work very hard to keep the magic alive, so saying stuff like that can really spoil the experience for others. And we're not about that here. I'm getting back on my soapbox. Here on this channel, we are all about character integrity. It is keeping the magic alive when talking about characters. There's one Mickey Mouse. There's one Princess Belle. There's one Daisy Duck. And the list goes on and on. I want to scream it that when you go to Disney World, I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're with a 2-year-old child. I don't care if you're with all your old frat buddies from college and you're all in your mid-40s. We're gonna keep character integrity. Number 1, not to spoil the magic for others. Number 2, it's more fun that way. Just let yourself have fun. Enjoy meeting Mickey Mouse and have a good time. Like, we know I'm not going to say it in case any little kids are watching this video. Okay, Disney World is about having fun for all ages. So don't spoil the magic. Keep character integrity. I look through all of our comments on every single video, every single day. If there's ever a comment that doesn't keep character integrity, I delete it, me personally. Another way that guests ruin the magic, not just talking about characters, but is when guests ruin experiences for others, like on the rides. Like when you recite the ride spiels. You walk into the Haunted Mansion in the elevator room and you want to say the spiel. You want to say it along with him. This chamber has no windows and no doors. Or like when guests try to tell jokes on the Jungle Cruise. Why would you do that? Let the skipper do it. It's his job. My actual pet peeve right now, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind in Epcot, in the first pre-show with Terry Crews. So there's a part when he's like talking to himself and then he realizes, oh, all the guests are here. Okay, hey guys, what do you call yourselves? And then when people respond in that section of silence, and they try to say something funny like alcoholics because they're all in Epcot and they're all drinking. Not funny. Not funny. Or when guests take flash pictures on dark rides. That's another pet peeve of mine. I remember one time I was on a family trip in high school and we were on Pirates of the Caribbean. This lady was taking so many flash pictures. I actually said something, which was crazy for me to do back in high school. Shy little Fry would never say anything to anyone, but it annoyed me so much that I was like, turn your flash off. And she did. So don't take flash pictures on rides. And then there are always the guests who openly complain about pricing, ride queues, or why they didn't get everything they wanted. Look, Disney days aren't cheap, but cast members aren't in charge of park policies. They just want guests to focus on the fun, not nitpick their way through the day. So many times, people would complain to me about how much things cost. Ma'am, I wish I got paid enough for that to be my problem. I had nothing to do with this menu. Also on top of that, okay, story time. I was on opening team of Galaxy's Edge. So we were opening this land for the very first time. The menu at Docking Bay 7 was a little too out of this world for most guests to understand. They were weird names, I get it. Okay, but just go along with the story. They're space alien names. And then enough people complained about it when we first opened that they had to get all new menus printed for the regular Earth English version of the actual dishes. Because people didn't understand that tip yip was chicken, even though it said it in the description. Once you become a cast member, you quickly realize that people will pack everything in their suitcase except their brain. Here are just a few things that cast members actually don't have control over. Food prices, ticket prices, hotel prices, crowd levels, the weather, and Disney getting rid of your favorite ride. I'm very sorry. I do understand, but why are you yelling at me? I can tell you right now, I don't even need to know what the situation is. I can tell you with 100% certainty that it is not the cast member's fault. It's probably your fault. But we're not ready to have that conversation. Just kidding, I'm ready to have that conversation. Listen to cast member rules, and if you break the rules, that's when bad things happen. The best way to keep the magic going? Let yourself believe in it a little. Cast members work hard to make Disney feel truly magical, and keeping that spirit alive makes the whole experience better for everyone. Now, a lot of you responded on my Instagram about things that you as cast members, former cast members hate about working in the parks, and I don't really know how to group them all together, so we are calling this last section things that only cast members experience. Some of these things are strange, and you will only understand if you've been a cast member. Working in the heat, working in the rain, working in a hurricane. Yeah, cast members do unfortunately have to work in extreme weather conditions because it is Florida. You're gonna see high temperatures, you're gonna see lots of rain every day in the summer, and you might have to work through a hurricane once or twice or many times. Hurricane pay is nice. And you just get to hang out with the kids at the hotels. The utilidors. Someone said they smelled. There's dripping juice from the ceilings and the walls. Yes, so I have made a video on the utilidors before. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the utilidors are under Magic Kingdom so that cast members can easily get across the park without being seen by guests. But the utilidors themselves are not that glamorous. Someone said, those red matching shirts from the Orlando area Walmarts. They are literally a walking red flag. You can find Disney merch pretty much anywhere. You can find a lot cheaper merch at Walmart or Target or other stores like that before you even get to your Disney World vacation. You can tell that they're not, Disney's like best merch. You can just tell by looking at it, but that's okay. Ball on a budget, I respect it. Shirts complaining about the price. We've all seen them. Usually a man, the husband, the father, wearing a shirt that says the most expensive day ever. Yeah, we all know how expensive it is. You don't need to bring it up. Another thing that cast members don't always like is being blocked out of the parks for new stuff. If you're a Disney World cast member, you obviously get into the parks for free. It's one of the perks. But unfortunately, cast members are the first group that's usually always blocked out, whether that's holidays, during the summer, sometimes with peak crowds when they know Disney World is going to be crowded with tourists. Cast members get blocked out. They also can get blocked out for new things for a while to let other guests enjoy the new things first. But in that case, just go to Universal. Somebody said, waiting for the bus at West Clock. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the cast member parking lot for Magic Kingdom is actually behind Pete's Silly Sideshow, behind Storybook Circus. So it's way over there. You go park over there. That's also where Disney University is, which is where you take your traditions class or other, Disney HR stuff. You park over there. You get on a bus that takes you closer to Magic Kingdom. And then you gotta enter through the utilidors, like I said, to get to your spot. So sometimes you have to take multiple forms of transportation just to clock in. But that's only for Magic Kingdom. I would not have survived working in Magic Kingdom. I would be a different person today. This is new to me. Someone who works at the call center for Disney World, and they hate when guests call when they are stuck on the rides. What? What is that? I've never heard of that before. That's funny. So if someone's like stuck on Pirates and then somehow calling the Disney World website call center, hey, I'm stuck on Pirates. What is the person on the phone gonna do? The cast members obviously know you're stuck on the ride. Don't worry. Someone who was a cast member said they hate having to stay on theme in Galaxy's Edge. They felt like they couldn't connect with guests as easily. That is a very interesting and valid point. There are certain places in Disney World where you have to stay within the story, stay on theme. Galaxy's Edge is one of those. It's probably the biggest one. I don't know how they do it now because we're many years removed from the opening. But when I was there training for 3 months before the land even opened, they really harped on us about our story, our background, because we are Batuans, we're not from Earth. So anytime a guest comes up to us and says something about Disney World, we had to pretend like we didn't know what it was. So if a guest came up to me and they're like waiting for their food and they say something about Tower of Terror, I would have to be like, Tower of Terror? What is that? I've never heard of that. And then guests would be like, the ride, the elevator ride. And then I'd be like, oh, cool. I don't know what that is. That's awesome. Tell me more. And most of the time, guests would understand what's going on. They'd be like, oh, so I came from Earth. There's this place called Disney World. It's really cool. And, we could play back and forth like that. Sometimes guests would not understand that that's what I was doing. And then they would get angry about it. And they're like, Tower of Terror, the ride that's right over there, the big one. Like, what are you talking about? You're stupid. So, the very last one, we're ending on a good note. Cast members hate it when guests think that cast members are babysitters. We're actually not. Only if you're on a Disney cruise and you're dropping your kid off at the nursery. Yes, we all teach our kids, if you get lost, find a cast member with a name tag, they will help you. But you don't ever leave your kids with a cast member. They're not actual babysitters. You can't just leave your kid on the couch at Steakhouse 71 and go to the bar and get a drink and just not watch your child anymore. We're not in charge of your children. You still are in charge of your children on vacation. Crazy that I have to say that. Don't leave your kids behind. Don't leave them in a stroller when you go on the ride. You're gonna get called by security. Just watch your kids. I don't know what else to say. Now, despite all of the challenges, cast members create incredible experiences every day. So next time you visit Disney World, take a moment to appreciate the hard work. Give them a smile, kind word, or better yet, a thank you. Have you ever noticed a cast member going above and beyond in the parks? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We post ride challenges, hotel reviews, secrets, and more from Disney World and beyond 7 days a week. Because why? We're serious about fun here. See you next time.